Hi everybody, this is Victoria. Welcome back to another new episode of Discovering Art Together, and today we are going to learn about Masters of Painting Hands by Ingres and Bouguereau. So today's episode we're going to take a look at two main artists. One is by Jean-Auguste-Dominique Ingres, and then the other one is William-Adolphe Bouguereau, and these two artists are great to paint figurative paintings, portraits, and also beautiful hands. So we're going to take a look and see the difference and similarities of how these two artists painted their hands. So if you guys are ready, let's get started. So the idea of this episode today is that I wanted to kind of dive a little bit deeper into how we can paint hands and actually give slightly different effects and also results in it, because even though both artists did a beautiful job at painting hands, they do have slightly bit different and unique aspects to them. So let's go ahead and take a look at the two paintings side by side. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is what are the difference between the two paintings of these two artists. So on the left you have Jean-Auguste-Dominique Ingres, Joséphine-Éléonore, and on the right you have William-Adolphe Bouguereau's painting of Les murmures de l'amour, which is basically translated to the whispers of love. So as we can see in the two paintings, the first difference that I noticed from looking at these two paintings is that Ingres' hand is a lot more opaque, so it's less translucent. You see more of a solid color. Definitely has more variety of different colors though, but not like William-Adolphe Bouguereau's hand, where you can actually see a translucent feeling to it, and then you can see a translucent surface, so seeing the tones under the skin and also being able to see subtle hints and cues of the veins and the blood vessels, and just making it look a lot more realistic. So the next thing that was slightly also a bit different is that the flesh tones on Ingres' painting is a lot more neutral, and that probably has something to do whether if it had a indoor lighting or an exterior and outdoor lighting. So since Ingres looks a little bit more neutral, not as vibrant and more on the red side, it's more gray, it's a little bit more yellow, and it's a lot more neutral, so it's not as chromatic as Bouguereau's painting, where you can kind of see a lot more saturation in the skin tones, warmer skin tones as well, and that's probably because his painting is mostly set in a outdoors environment. I think the most difference between the two hands, like they're both very beautiful though, but Ingres always has that very kind of sculpture-like beauty in his hands. So when he's painting his hands and also his figures and stuff, it has a sculpture aspect of it because they're both very smooth, and having that gives a better reason why Ingres' skin tone's a lot more opaque, because it kind of reflects a little bit of a sculpture like skin tone, but at the same time it's a lot more alive than a more still and static sculpture. And in Bouguereau's painting is a lot more lively. It looks more like real skin because he added the translucent aspect and being able to see the different tones and also the different hues of the veins and the blood vessels under the semi-translucent skin. Okay, so let's take a look at what is similar between the two paintings. And one of the biggest main things is the smoothness of the skin. So both artists did a very great job at keeping the nice smoothness of the skin texture, and that's what makes it really, really pretty, because having that subtle effect and change of color and tone and having that smooth transition makes it really, really attractive. It makes it really really addicting in a way, and it just makes it really nice to look at. So yeah, and that's pretty much the main things that I've noticed while these two old masters have beautifully executed and painted their hands. So now we learned the two subtle difference between Ingres' painting and Bouguereau's painting of hands. We can actually use that and actually apply it to our own painting as well. So depending on if you want a more sculpture-like and more opaque skin tone like Ingres, or if you want a more semi-translucent and real-life feeling and kind of effect like Bouguereau's. And yeah, and that's it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this brand new episode. We learned a little bit on how to get a similar effect as these two old masters here, and key things to keep in mind so that we can see what are the difference between the two and what are the similarities between the two artists, and kind of understanding what do we need to apply in order to get a certain effect and result. So this week's mini homework and exercise for you guys is to either try and copy one or the other artist's painting of hands. So do a hand study of the two artists. You can pick one, you can do both, whichever. And then also, after when you kind of did a study, try to paint your own hand. So you can take a photo of your own hand, or you can paint it from life, whichever is easier for you, and see if you could actually apply the techniques that you paint in the Ingres style, and then the techniques that you painted with Bouguereau's style, and just kind of getting to understand and see the difference. Because once you know that, then you'll have a better idea of which one you prefer and like, and also which techniques to use in order to have that certain type of effect and result. Okay, and that is it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this brand new episode of Masters of Painting Hands by Ingres and Bouguereau, and looking forward to sharing more tips and advice and learning from the old masters and discovering and exploring their painting styles and how to apply it into your own paintings as well. And until next time, so take care, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye!